Just the power of being able to change your mind. Knowing that you can test something out, and if you don't like it, you can just move on to the next thing.
That's what the actual companies do.
The companies be doing it, but we don't. That's the thing. The companies be like, I'm testing you out. That's why we ain't giving you no insurance to start, okay?
I wasn't even talking about with people. I was talking about like with the actual products.
Yeah, they do it with the people too, though.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That trial employment.
You got 90 days. 90 days to prove yourself.
And then we'll give you some insurance. Then you could go see the doctor.
Get on my motherfucking face.
Please.
Push the goddamn button.
Action.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Grae Area Podcast.
Grae Area. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm Shakoya D.
Bodman Breezington ear.
It's your boy Damani.
And welcome to another episode of the Grae Area. If this is your first time here, and welcome back if it is not. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. This is a podcast where we break down the fabrics of life because not everything is always black and white. We like to have conversations about regular life from a creator's perspective. So in layman's terms, that just means we talk about whatever we feel like talking about. It could be love, it could be life, it could be music, it could be movies, it could be anything or nothing at all. We have interesting conversations and we love to bring you guys in on them and hopefully inspire you to have your own. How are you guys feeling today?
Splendid.
I'm good. I do need a nap, but I'm alright.
That's great.
How about yourself?
I also need a nap, but I am good. I don't know. I'm good. I don't really got much outside of that. I do need a nap though, but after that, I'm probably going to be super energized. I'm really excited for today. What am I doing? I don't have any plans. I just know it's going to be a good day. What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the fact that I'm tired of working. It might not just be me. I doubt it's just me, but being tired of working.
Yeah, elaborate. Go ahead.
All right, let me get my thoughts together because I think it is crazy that we work so hard for money when money was always intended to work for us.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the rest of the script. We're going to cut that out.
Hey, yo.
Now y'all see what type of episode this is?
Hey, yo. That's funny.
So what I wrote, these were my thoughts. So why do we work so hard for money when money was always meant to work for us? I enjoy working on and in purpose, but working to pay for the needs that God had already promised would be fulfilled is wild to me. And a lot of people think that we're lazy because we don't be wanting to work. Not us, but like our generation in general and like the newer generations are lazy because we don't want to work. But when you get past the, oh, they just don't want to work because they don't want to work part, and actually understand that our whole lineage and forefathers have been working for 400 plus years.
Ooh, child.
And trauma, ideas, perspective, etc. is passed down through DNA. So we're not just tired of working because we've been working for however long. We're tired of working because everybody that we came from for the past 400 years, give or take, have been working and complaining and tired of working. And it's just wild to me that we spend so much time working for something that was meant to work for us. So yeah, I say that to say I'm tired of working.
That's the pod. Thank y'all for joining us. Like, nah. I definitely agree. I feel like I am also tired. I think that it's a thing where I'm tired of working. I don't even know how to explain it because I like working toward my dream. I feel like if it was purposeful work for me personally, rather than if I'm doing work where it's like meant for me to just to survive or whatever, for me personally, I'm like I'm tired of that. And I think that this is an interesting topic just because everybody's like purpose and what brings them joy is different. It looks different for everyone. So some people, while some people might find joy in the work that they're doing, no matter what it is. It could be anything from like literally working as a cashier to a high-end corporate job or whatever. If you find purpose and joy in what you're doing, I feel like it's a totally different thing. At that point, you feel like what you like money is working for you type of thing because you find joy in the thing that you're doing. Versus where I feel like a lot of people in our generation and just people in general in this country, a lot of us have jobs or are working in ways that do not serve us at all outside of it brings money in. And that's why a lot of people, they can't wait until the weekend or they can't wait until their day is off because it's like, this doesn't bring me joy. This doesn't bring me fulfillment. And a lot of it barely bring you any money in, honestly. If we being completely honest, it'd be a lot of work for a little bit of money. A lot of times, at least in my experience. So I agree. Tired. Tired.
Yeah, I agree as well. I'm tired of working for other people. Like I understand that everything's good. Like everything has a level of work to it, especially even the things that you're passionate about. The things that you're passionate about don't always feel like work though. So that's the good part about that. But in terms of like specifically just working for money, I'm tired of because also like working for just for the sake of money doesn't motivate me to want to continue working. Like after a while, it just ends up being numbers. So it's like if I can't do anything with these numbers outside of the fact that I'm just stacking this to have a larger number, it's like what's the point? And that's how I felt about the working climate. Outside of the fact that it's just there's a lot of stuff that I just don't want to do that they're gonna pay me measly amounts to do. It's not even like they're paying me something that's like, oh, this is an interesting topic. They're gonna and we'll pay you a lot. It's like, nah, we want you to show up and do a lot for a little. And it's like I don't subscribe to that. That's ghetto.
And I was gonna say I agree with that. Give me all the money just for what I would like to do. Like if it's in the realm of what my purpose is, bring me all the money. But I was gonna say a lot of times from my vantage point is the skills and stuff that people actually have and enjoy doing were not looked at as a high value skill or ability. So now that we're able to see that anything is possible, people get paid mad money to do nothing. And it's like mad people still sleep on themselves and their abilities because they doubt that, or they're not able to see the value in what they bring opposed to what other people may bring.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say I don't think the environment is conducive for you to find out or to exercise the thing that you're great at most times. With a lot of the more basic tier jobs, I mean, for the higher end jobs, they're a lot more specialized and stuff. But like the general job market, it's not necessarily made for you to exercise, at least in my opinion, to exercise your skill set, your unique skill set every day. Like you have to go out of your way to do that. Like I'm thinking about when I was at like a Wells, like in terms of me like using my unique skill sets, I have to go out of my way to find ways to do that while I'm there. And it's like if you don't know what it is to begin with, it's like why outside of the money, why am I why am I here? You know, and for a lot of people, it's like, I'm gonna be here. I think I said this on the podcast. Like, if I hate it here, at the very least, you're gonna pay me because I hate it here. So it's like, I think a lot of us get caught up in like, hey, I'm just here for a check.
Yeah, I feel like on the base level, the jobs be like everything is set up how it is. So it's like I have to be here. Like I need here because I only have enough to make it to the next check. That type of thing. On the base level. And I feel like a lot of people, majority of the people are on the base level.
I agree. Yeah, I was going back and forth, so I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, it's my turn. No, I definitely agree. I feel like most of us are actually on like the base level, but I also think that like what Damani was saying about how we don't have the time to actually figure out what we want to do or enjoy doing a lot of times, because even when you even when you go to college, like whether you go to college or not, the jump from graduating, whether it's college or high school, into then going into the real world, the workforce, however it looks, a lot of times it doesn't. There's not like a space and time for most people to just like chill out, and like once you get into the real world, it's like, oh, I actually got bills now. Like my bills just started because like maybe there is a period of deferment on your loans, but maybe there's not. Or maybe your gift was a car that wasn't paid off, right? Or it was paid off, but now you got to pay for your own insurance, or like whatever it is. It's like you realize that now, okay, now I got to jump into the working world, where in that world it doesn't provide you the space most times to actually explore your interests or your unique abilities. Because also, even if you did decide to go to college, some people go to college and then still don't know what they like or what they enjoy, because a lot of people go to college for what their parents wanted them to go to school for. So it's like, or what they thought they should go to school for, or what they thought was going to make them the most money. And in this job market today, these degrees don't mean nothing. Okay? I'm just saying, they might mean a little something at wherever you at, but what I've been seeing, any job that I've gotten, I mean, like okay, cool, you got a bachelor's degree, but like all right, cool. It didn't give me no more money. At least the jobs that I got, I haven't been aiming that high. But it's just like, just realizing that, like, oh, I didn't actually have the time to figure out what I wanted my specialized skill to be in that jump. And now I'm like, I got bills, or I have rent, or whatever. And then you don't think that you can set aside the time to actually figure it out, because you get caught in the cycle of work, sleep, work, dinner, work, whatever the cycle looks like for you. You get caught up in it, and then you I guess don't realize that you can make the time to figure out what you actually want to do.
Yeah, I have two things. One was to the point where you was talking about the gap. A lot of people don't have the gap of time to figure out what they want. So like after you graduate high school or college or wherever, it's like you just get put into the workforce or put into adulthood, and it's like these are babies, regardless of if you graduate in typically between 17 and 23, depending on if it's high school or college. And regardless, these are babies. Like, we're babies when we first, like, regardless if you look at yourself as a grown-up, as an adult, your brain not even fully developed. Like,
still got soft spots over there.
Still wet behind there. He's a baby. Like, and it's like a lot of things that happen in life, we don't be prepared for it. Like, we have everything that we need to get through it, but we don't be prepared for life. So now it's like, you throw babies out there and they figuring it out. So by the time they're actual adults and it's like they can think for themselves, they already battling or fighting whatever they did when they was figuring it out. So now it's like, I gotta work twice. I'm working twice as hard just to get to a space where I'm able to actually like prevail.
And you was about to say something?
You can go.
I was just gonna say real quick, I wholeheartedly agree with the baby thing, because I consider myself a baby adult for several years. I didn't feel like an actual adult until I turned 27. So that's when it hit me, and I was like, oh, I make the decisions for real. But before that, I was baby adult, I was a toddler adult. I don't know if I made it to teenage adulthood, but I was feeling like a baby adult for a long time.
So when it comes to the adulthood and being, I feel like we were thrust into adulthood at a certain point where it's like, so for me, it was like I was good, everything was cool. And then I leave school, and all of a sudden I have bills, and it's like, all right, one, it's not like I was mentally prepared to have bills. So it's like, all right, cool, I got a bill. And it's like, oh, this is like, it doesn't stop.
Right.
Like, this is like a,
I'm
like, okay, cool. But then you maybe you get a credit card, maybe whatever it is, right? And you get a few bills, and it's like before you realize it, you're working, at least for most people, or at least for me, before I realized that I was working so that I could just make sure the bills were paid. Because it was like, out of nowhere, I have to pay bills. And it was like, I wasn't, in regards to the gap, I wasn't really mentally ready to start like paying bills. And it's like, I understand it's a part of life, a part of this life. It wasn't always a part of life. But I just wasn't prepared for it to not end. Similarly with when I think about the idea of working, at least like how my parents or grandparents were working, like, when you get out there, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this until I'm 65?
Bugging.
60?
That's wild.
Excuse me? Like this? This ain't it.
Because
like,
you got that good job. You can stay there.
I'm like, until I'm 60, like, oh, nah. And I think that's, for me, where when it comes to the tiredness, it's like, nah, I'm tired of doing that because I'm not doing that until 65. No way.
Ain't it be wild though? Because, and then you could get to your second point. The most wild thing is that they be working at that same place till they're 65, but they also complain about that same place until they're 65. And I'd be like, why did you stay here for 45 years if you hated it this much? Oh no, it ain't that bad. You complain every day. Every day we have this conversation about Martha, Margaret, and all them people there that get on your nerves, and how the system don't work, and how they changing stuff, and you're still there. You never left.
The coffee machine broke every Tuesday, and you upset about it every Tuesday.
You know it's gonna be broke.
Well, if you know it's gonna be broke, you could get a high value skill, learn how to fix the coffee machine, and then when it break, it'd be like, I know how to fix it.
That's not my job.
It's gonna cost you.
You know what I'm saying?
Might cost you a little, might cost you a lot, but it's gonna cost you. Nah, but I think that's like one of the most, I guess, interesting things, and I hate it. I do. Why are we complaining for 45 years about the same stuff? Just put in a different application, like apply somewhere else, please, for me.
One of the best pieces of advice that I got in my life was we don't complain about stuff that we can change. That was good advice.
That was literally, I was gonna say, yeah.
And my actual point that I had, it was to when Shakoya said about having the time to figure out what it is that you want. So I've learned probably like a couple days ago that when I actually had the time, like when I had a endless amount of time to explore and figure out what I liked, what I didn't like, I felt like I didn't have time. But now that my time is more, like I have to use my time more strategically, I know that I have more than enough time to explore and figure stuff out and find stuff. It's just weird to me. And I was just gonna say to Damani's point about you thrust it into life and it's just like bill, and it'd be like it be feeling like it's like a battle of the bills. Like it's like you not doing good if you don't got a certain amount of bills. Even like if you look at a credit score, like
it's wild.
Like your credit score is it could be looked. All right, if you look at the credit profile, your credit profile may be looked at as poor because you only got 2 credit cards. But both your credit cards is under 10%. You're doing well, but the profile is poor because you only have 2. You had these 2 for 10 years, but they want you to have 5 to 7. That's in good state. And I'm like, hold on.
Yeah. The saying used to be, they used to say, hey, no credit is worse than bad credit. And I used to be like, that don't make sense. I was like, I don't have a record. Like I don't, you don't know if you don't even know if I'm bad with the money yet. How is that worse than having bad credit?
But it's also it's like we're number one, credit wasn't even invented. Like it wasn't created until like the 80s. Like that it wasn't even a thing. And we're I think like one of the only countries that has like credit that allows people to pay for things that they don't actually have money for.
Yeah.
And it's wild because, well, I guess it's not wild because this whole country is just built off of debt. Like, so the country is in debt, so the people got to be in debt too because the country done spent all the people's money, so of course you ain't got no money to pay for nothing because we spent it already. So go ahead and just get, that was loud.
It's for confirmation. Go
ahead and just get whatever you want with this imaginary money, and then you pay us back with some real money later. Like that'd be killing me. But the other thing that I was gonna say to the first part of what you were saying about having time, I think that because you were saying that it doesn't make sense to you that when you had all the time in the world, you didn't feel like you had enough time.
Yeah. I ain't say it didn't make sense. It was a discovery that I had.
Oh, but I think that goes to the fact that I think when this kind of goes back to our discussion that we were talking about time last week. But why my thought is like it's like right there, but then it keep leaving and then it keep coming back.
Be quicker than that.
Okay. I think that it goes to the point of a lot of times we don't realize how much control over our time we actually have until we have to be in control of our time. Once we are forced to be intentional with our time, then you start to actually take into account like how time works or how much control you have of it, and then you start to plan more and stuff like that. When we are just operating on, I guess, like a certain level of freedom of time without any intentionality, a lot of times we just don't really, it's an afterthought. So then you start thinking, I don't really have time. I don't got time for that. I'm out here doing this other stuff. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. When it's actually a thing of you just didn't make time. You didn't make time to do it. You didn't set aside time. And now you're trying to do whatever at the last minute because you felt like you had all the time in the world. And I think that it's a duality. The duality of time. No? Okay. But I think that once you start being more intentional with your time, you start getting more familiar with how to use it and how to create it. And without that, you just feel like you have all the time in the world until you don't.
Yeah. I feel like I agree with what you said, and I feel like this might be a part 2 to the last pod, just because now I feel like we're getting into time territory, and you said about being intentional with your time, but I feel like once you actually realize that you have a lot more control over your life, you are able to be more intentional with the things that you do, which allows you to use your time better. Yeah, and I think it all goes back to just like knowing the value of yourself and what you want to do, or what you would like to do, or what you would like to explore. Like you don't got to do stuff forever. And even with that,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, knowing that everything is temporary, like people just, okay, I'm gonna just use me for example. I used to equate that to like just like people, friendships, relationships, that type of thing. It's temporary, but everything is literally temporary. So if you don't intend to have something forever, I feel like you treat it better. You cherish it more. The quality time that's spent, it's better memories with it. It's like you utilize it, and you go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say, but I was going to say. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say something to the effect of that's one thing that we forget, that we don't have to do things forever. I think that a lot of times, I know us, like when like getting older and hearing our parents talk and be like, oh yeah, like you want something that's steady, you want you want to do this, you want to do that, but it's like I don't have to do that. I don't need to be there for 45 years. Like, you don't have to be there for 45 years. I don't have to do this same thing forever, but right now, this is either what I want to do, what I feel like I need to do, or it's like just the power of being able to change your mind and knowing that you can change your mind, knowing that you can test something out, and if you don't like it, you can just move on to the next thing.
But that's what the actual companies do. Like,
oh yeah, that's the companies be doing it, but we don't. That's the thing. Like we be like, oh no, I'm gonna stay here for the rest of my life. The companies be like, I'm testing you out. That's why we ain't giving you no insurance to start, okay?
I wasn't even talking about with people. I was talking about like with the actual products. So like it's like
that too. I wasn't even thinking like that.
They be having beta programs.
Yeah, they do it with the people too though.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That trial employment.
You got 90 days. 90 days to prove yourself.
And then we'll give you some insurance. Then you could go see the doctor.
That's crazy.
After we worked you.
Got 90 days of free labor out you.
Right.
Or uninsured labor.
Almost free.
Dang, we have ventured so far from the thought that I was gonna say.
Gotta be quicker than that.
I did that like I was eating instead of reeling the thing in.
She said this backwards. Ain't that something?
But
just make a big difference.
When you go fishing, you go like this to reel it in.
Y'all been fishing before?
Yeah. Well, you can do it.
I thought you go this, like you go forward. I never went fishing. I've
been crabbing before.
Everybody who told me they was gonna take me fishing, they take me fishing.
We gonna fish.
I feel like it's this. I feel like
it's this.
Nah, because they say reel it in. That's reeling it out, right?
Nah, but the way that the fishing rod is structured, you go like this.
We gonna look it up at some point. We gonna come back to this. We gonna do our Googles. As you can see, we are no experienced fishermen, fisherwoman.
Nature boy Breeze.
Yeah,
we'll be out.
We should go fishing from a boat though. I don't want to have my feet in the
that's what from a boat. Or I wouldn't put my feet in the water. I would just maybe be on a bridge or a hill, that type of thing.
Okay, yeah, I need to be up somewhere. I need to be elevated.
Yeah.
Got one.
I don't know, cause I don't want to do the one where they be having the big boots that also be pants and they be in the swamps. I'm good off that.
It's like snowboarding. But we got way off.
I was like, y'all would kept pushing me further and further. What was I can't even
time.
The topic was working.
Yeah.
Time to be on work.
Yeah. It was something along the lines of I'll just say what I'm feeling at this point. I've gotten to the point where I'm way past trading my time for money, and I think jobs have put you in the habit of trading your time for money, right? At the very least, if I'm going to trade my time here, granted, my time is very limited, right? And again, if you know this, like this is what I was thinking of. If you know that like everything is temporary, including you, right? Like you in this in this space, whether or not you believe in reincarnation is a whole another topic, but you in this space, you as this version of you, right, is like, this isn't, like, you're not going to be in this space forever. So it's like, let's do something else with our time. And in my head, I was thinking, like, if you knew you had, like, let's take it away from me, like a life. If you knew you had 30 minutes to make a meal, you're not gonna spend 20. Most people aren't gonna spend 29 of it being like, I wonder what I should make. You'd be like, right. Yeah, you'd be like, or it'd be like, man, I'm so mad that I don't got more time, man. I just can't. Why didn't they give me 35 minutes? And you spent 29 minutes being upset, and then you're like, you know what? It's my last minute. Let me make that minute rice that he was talking about. Let me throw it in there.
Not even a full meal.
Yeah.
Even with that, it's a lot of like mental stuff like that you gotta get through in order to even realize, one, that everything is temporary, and since everything is temporary, it'll behoove me to use the most out of my time or my experience or this opportunity. I'll be doing that too. Like, I'll be like, because I know stuff, but it's like I don't always be taking my advice. So that's my 2024 and beyond. What I'm gonna focus on 2024, and that's my motto for 2024. Take my own advice, and I'm gonna do my best not to speak on anything until I take my advice. So like, I'm not gonna tell you to do anything unless I did it.
I think the reason why a lot of us don't take our own advice is because it feels like forever. Like, it feels like our whole experience feels like, all right, I'm going to be at this spot for a long time. And it's like, it feels long until the time ends. And then you're like, oh, all right, I didn't even realize that I can't go back. The job has been fizzled out. I really can't. Oh, wow. And then it's like, okay, it's like you spent so much time there, but you didn't. Yeah, you spent so much time there thinking that this was going to last forever. And so then when it ends, you don't know what am I doing now that this thing is ended, you know?
Or I also think, because I feel like this is probably something that I was doing subconsciously for a while, is like you also think that I'm going to have another chance at this. Mm-hmm. Like, even if the time ends, I'm going to get another opportunity to do this again. So it's fine. Like, I can let the clock run out because I can just try again. And that's not always the case. Yeah. And I think that's something we got to remember. Yeah.
And especially with work. Like, everybody always says life is short. Life is short, but life feels long when you're doing things you do not like. Mm-hmm. Because, my God, 6th grade felt like the longest year of my life. I could not stand that year. I did not. It felt like the longest year of my life. But, hey, y'all was in a different... I moved to a different state that year. But,
I mean...
And just that year... And any other year where I was doing jobs where I didn't like, it felt like an eternity. And I'm like, bro, when is this going to end? Even if it wasn't that long of a time, but it felt like, yo, I'm going to be here. Like, this feels terrible. Like, why am I still here? So it's like, I think it's just a matter of like us understanding how we feel about the time we have versus how much time is actually here. And I think that's part of the disconnect where people don't necessarily move when they have the complaint or whatever the case may be. And we spend a lot of time working on things that we don't enjoy. So it feels, even on top of the fact that it's like it has been some years, it feels like it's been even longer than the years that we've been there.
I feel like I agree with y'all. But to further that point, I also feel as though a lot of times we be too close for too long to what it is that we doing, that we forget the bigger picture. So it could be a thing of, okay, I tell myself I'm going to do this for X amount of time so I can move on to this next thing, or so it could fund this next thing. But we get so engrossed in what it is or what it is that we doing, we might hate it, it might be terrible, and we just focusing on it. We go back to you talking about complaining, and I'm so focused on me complaining and me paying my bills on time and getting everything, like, I guess the micro stuff, we forget about our macro idea, like the grand scheme of things. We forgot the reason why we were here, because we were so close all along. Like, we didn't take any time to step back and see what it is that we doing.
I think the flip side to that is also like, sometimes it's not that you got so engrossed in this thing. Sometimes it's like you were here for so long, the original plan or the original vision starts to feel very far-fetched or very far away for you, and then you start to get scared, and then you're like, well, I mean, I've been doing this, and this been fine, it's been working out, you know, my bills get paid on time, and you know, it's not that bad. I do hate it, but like, you know, it could be worse. And then you stay there out of fear because you have been here, and now it just looks like it's farther where you're supposed to be going. Not even that you forgot. It's just like I could see it, but also that looked like it's in Antarctica right now. So I think that's like the flip side of it. It could be like a variety of reasons. It could be a combination of the two, but I think that happens a lot to a lot of people. No matter, I guess, what it is, a lot of people have forgotten this was supposed to be a stepping stone to get me to the dream, or somebody told them that it ain't gonna work, and they believe that person.
Yeah, I think I think a superpower that we forget that we have is that we have the ability to zoom in and zoom out, and and sometimes we get caught on one versus the other. Like, I know for me, I spent a lot of time focusing on my micro problems, distracting me from my macro life. So it just is. Sometimes you can get lost in or it could be a micro fear, right? You can get lost in the sauce.
Okay.
Pardon me.
It's like, you're missing it. The sauce. Sauce.
And if you get lost in the sauce, then
you lost.
Come on.
Shout out Gucci.
But yeah, I think sometimes you can get lost in that, and then your entire life is being run by the smaller things. So the idea, I have to pay my bills. It wasn't until last year or this year that I was like, yo, my bills are not going to end, right? There's going to be some form of bill. Even when the money is raining down, there's going to be some form of bill. So yes, they're going to be paid. My focus should never be on making sure I can pay. Like, you don't get an award for being the best bill payer.
Definitely
you know what you get? You get a higher credit score, maybe, right?
Till you pay something more.
So that you can pay for more stuff.
Then it drops.
And you have more bills. So it's like, all right, let me just take this money and use it for something, which is going back to what we were talking about before. Take this money to use it for something that I want to actually use it for, because that's always going to be there. So until they decide that we don't got to pay bills no more,
coming soon.
Make sure your bills is paid.
Vote Damani for president.
Well, yeah, like, make sure your bills are paid, obviously, but your focus shouldn't be on just that, because like that's not gonna end. At the very least, like, if you're gonna focus on something that's not gonna end, at least make it improvement, like your self-improvement, or like to become better. I think that's a lot better of a motivator than like especially because the bills is every month. So it's not even every year if you're one of those organized individuals. But like the bills are gonna come, but like the opportunities that you have may not necessarily come again. So like you're always gonna have bills. So let's keep that in the back of the mind.
Oh, you can finish.
Yeah, and then we can in the front, we can in the passenger seat. That improvement. So I don't know what the words was called. I don't know. This analogy was leaving me. Y'all saw it. You know what was here? In the back.
He looked like he was about to bust somebody. Oh.
I'll take them bills away. The money for president. If you vote for me, you won't have bills no more.
Get up and walk.
The wild thing is, I watched the Book of Clarence the other night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that.
It was funny. It was good.
Really?
Me being me now, it was a good movie. Like I'm like, okay, so you telling us that.
Don't spoil the movie now.
He about to spoil the whole
He
thing.
be spoiling stuff, y'all.
This is just my perspective of the movie.
Oh, he about to spoil it.
Spoil that.
Alert.
Spoil that.
Spoil that. Spoil that. Go ahead.
All right. So what I was gonna say, if you haven't watched the Book of Clarence,
Spoiler alert. My bad.
you could go watch the movie and make your own
assessment
of the movie,
including us.
Mm-hmm.
especially y'all. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I gave it 2 thumbs up.
Who the heck is Clarence?
What was you gonna say?
About the movie or before?
Let's go to before.
I don't remember before.
All right, then go to the movie.
The whole that it left. He ain't take my bills away, but I thought.
Then go ahead and say what you was gonna say about the movie.
Y'all can go.
Oh,
I don't want to spoil it.
gosh.
I don't think I'm spoiling it though, but.
Just say what you gonna say.
All right, what I was gonna say about the movie is me being me now, watching it. It's like, oh, okay, so we all have the power.
All right, you spoiled.
That they said that Jesus has.
Oh.
Like the ability
Okay.
to be somebody.
If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you gotta wake up and pay attention.
See, that's going back to the bills. If you don't have utility bills, you still gotta pay attention. Come on now.
Make sure y'all check out that episode. I will link it up above for you guys.
Make sure you remember the link.
I will remember to link it up above for you guys.
Oh my goodness.
We are at 43 minutes and
It's a good episode, but that's true though. I guess I thought about it like that before, but like in the context of this conversation, like the bills aren't gonna end. At some point you're gonna have to pay something, whether it's monetary or whether it's with your attention. So you might as well pay for what you want versus. Of course, we're not encouraging y'all to not pay y'all bills, okay?
be good stewards.
Don't be like the Grae Area said, we ain't got to pay our bills no more. Okay?
Damani is not president yet.
He not.
Who said I was
He not going to be president. We're not doing that.
That job age you.
It age you quick.
That's because you don't worry. You don't stress.
You right, because I'm not the president. I don't got nuclear threats and people coming to me asking me the freedom of their bills.
Yeah.
I don't got nobody asking.
They're going to be outside the White House like, pay our bills. Pay our bills. That's not a bad idea.
No, that is a bad idea. Don't come back out to my house asking me to pay your bills.
No,
don't come here.
Not at our house.
Yeah,
but
that's not a good idea.
go see the president and see what he say.
I mean, you did for the some of the student loans.
Yeah. That was a struggle though. Anyways, we ain't talking about politics. We don't talk about politics on this show.
Cause that's many blood-sucking ticks. And we
are talking about bills and attention and adulthood and the time. Time don't start with an A, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Those
bills don't start with an A either.
I said bills and attention and
in a time.
Yeah, I said and adulting and a time. That's what I said.
A time was had. I don't know why I like that saying.
A time. We had a time.
Yeah, a time was had.
But what was you about to say?
You got nothing. I got nothing.
I do think that. Dang, I don't even remember what we was talking about before paying attention, but I think that it's important. What's important? Who knows? Do you guys have any final thoughts?
That's where you go end it?
What?
Working.
Oh, okay. I do think.
My goodness.
Circling back to the original topic,
This is work, but it's purposeful work.
It's purposeful.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why it's important that you find the things that you love. Because even when we talked about Ikigai, when we talk about how they operate in other countries, like the way that they use their time outside of work, even if they're doing a job that maybe they don't love, outside of work, the way that they use their time and they prioritize things is they enjoy life. In a lot of other countries, that is prioritized. Family is prioritized. Enjoying life, spending time with friends, those things are prioritized. The way that this country is set up, bills are what's prioritized. So, like, you spend most of your time at this job that you hate. You come back home, you're tired. You still have to do things for yourself. And then you either prioritize sleeping, housework and stuff, or maybe you'll prioritize hanging out. But most of the time, most of the adults don't even know what they like to do because they ain't prioritized no time to figure out what they want to do.
All right. I'll be right back. My dog is doing dog things.
That wasn't a beat. I thought a car was driving.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
No, she was scratching on beat.
Boom, boom.
Stop.
Boom, 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 boom,
Stop.
boom, boom. Okay, just me? All right, cool.
I was gonna say, you hear the couch squeak?
The couch, it was on beat. Burr, 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 burr. No, okay.
This is my couch.
It was on beat. I was making a song. Anyways.
You gonna have these people sending us a new couch. Or send us a new couch.
I'll send you a picture. Let me know. Just let us pick out the couch. I'll tell you where to send it. No, but I think that's like a huge thing in this country is that like we literally don't. It's not set up for us to prioritize the things that we want to do and like ways to enjoy life and stuff like that. It's set up for our time to be monopolized by companies, brands, and all of that stuff. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Oh, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I also think most people. I think most people wouldn't have an issue working if they can see the actual effect of their work affecting other people in a positive way or in a way that they wanted to. Like if everybody was doing work that they enjoyed or that they found impactful, I feel like we wouldn't have an issue with working. But I'll say specifically for millennials, I feel we talked about this before. We were sold the dream.
The American dream.
Right?
Make sure y'all check that
episode out. We were sold the dream. We were sold.
We are at 48 minutes. Some change.
We were sold the dream, and then what we got was a job it wasn't even a dream job. It was just a job. So we're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because it's not a dream, it's just a job. If I wanted to do any job, this ain't the job that I was gonna do. Like this ain't, so I think that's a part of it as well.
Yeah, and I also feel like even besides the fact that the job would be more durable or endurable, if we could see
enjoyable
or
like we could endure it.
We
okay. We can endure doing the job more if we were able to like enjoy the check that we get. So it's like, again, either you at the bottom or you above the middle. Right now is the middle. The middle is looking scarce. It's not too many people that's in the middle anymore.
I agree. I agree. If we had, I know if there was like some, I guess, breathing room after the bills and stuff were paid for a lot of people, I think that would make a difference. That would make a lot of people like, I don't know, more willing to like just work a regular job. But it also is a thing where minimum wage in a lot of states hasn't really changed in like over a decade.
But even with that, as minimum wage changes, the prices of stuff is still gonna go up. So minimum wage is still gonna be minimum wage. It's just you paying for more expensive stuff.
Yeah.
So like your living isn't really gonna change.
But
If minimum wage goes up because they're gonna raise everything else.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what I'm saying though. Minimum wage, at least. I mean, whatever we're being paid, it should be matching the cost of living.
Yeah.
It does not match the cost of living. So even with getting a good job or working however many hours, it's like y'all raised all the prices on everything, and y'all did not give me no actual like an adequate raise that matched how the market spiked. So then you're just over here like, well, now I gotta make this stretch even further because y'all didn't want to pay me no more. Even though now y'all are making more money because y'all also raised y'all prices on your products.
Yeah, dog food went up twice.
So it's just like a thing where it's like, what are we working for at this point? And I think that it is very important for me personally to make sure that I'm working on things that I feel align with my purpose and align with what I feel my calling is, whether it's in this moment or in this life, because I worked a lot of jobs, and I worked a lot of jobs. None of the pay was worth it. But also, it's not like, even half the time the benefits don't even be worth it. They don't even be covering everything.
Said you got to spend $1,000 before we could.
I had to spend $5,000 before they would cover therapy on the last insurance that I had.
You must have been going through it.
Like I would
$5,000
like that is a lot in a year. Like for a coverage for a single person. It's not even like I was on a family plan. It's like it was just me. Okay? Why? What do you expect me to be doing? Like
they want extreme injuries only.
I would say that's a lot of trauma.
I don't want that.
That's a lot of trauma.
Like I would have to go to therapy like every day for 5, 6, 7 months to make that.
You have to be one of the characters off Shameless to need that kind of therapy.
For real. So yeah. That's working.
Day and night.
I'm going to say these are my final thoughts. Make sure that even if you are working a job that you find no meaning in, that you hate, make sure that outside of work, you are doing the things that you love or finding the things that you love. Because it's so important. Like, we're not supposed to be out here just being miserable. And yes, we were sold a dream, especially us millennials. We were sold a dream, okay? And unfortunately, it was an inaccurate representation of where we are today. So, just make sure that you are prioritizing finding the things that you enjoy, the things that you love, despite what everybody else is saying, because, it ain't their life. If they want to be miserable, let them be miserable. But make sure you find your joy. That's what I'm going to say. Y'all got any final thoughts on anything we talked about today?
Nah, if you don't feel like working, I feel you. That's it. I feel you. I know that sounded like, dude, I feel you.
All I was going to say was, if you're working a job that you hate, like she said, enjoy all your time outside of that job and have an exit plan.
Yes.
If you in a position where you're able to save a little bit here and there, do that and have an exit plan, because life was meant to be enjoyed, not meant to just work.
Right.
And don't take your work home.
Oh, please don't. I've done that too many times. Leave it there. They don't pay you enough.
When you during these hours, this is the time you have me. These are my working hours.
Right.
After that, do not disturb.
I don't know you.
Tell your mind, do not disturb me. Rebuke all the work thoughts and activities.
Leave the work stuff at the job.
Leave the work. Yeah. Put it in the desk drawer.
Even
lock
if
it.
you work remote, find somewhere else to put it where you don't gotta look at it until Monday morning. or whenever you work again. Lock it away. Turn the sound off. Whatever you need to do.
Burn it.
We do not encourage people to burn their work.
Burn your work laptop.
Do not burn your work
Revolt.
equipment.
Revolt, people.
Do not burn your work equipment.
Oh,
My
man.
goodness. Do not get these people who let go.
But take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Also, comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Like, do y'all like working? Because we want to know. It might be some people out there that actually like working in today's climate. Are you doing purposeful work, or are you just like working whatever type of job? Like, let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch this podcast live, as well as Love the Creative Black Woman Live, make sure you go over to our Patreon for the low price of $3 a month. You can join the good people of the Grae Area and watch us live along with other content that we have in the works for you. We also got music out, y'all. We got music out. We are going to link all of the music below as well. But we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Adios.
Stay blessed, stay black, people.
You say what? Know yourself. Know your worth. Jukebox, hit me with another jam.
Get on my face. Get on my motherfucking face.
Please. Push the goddamn button.